Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today we have the penultimate pack of the Fanhome release of Build Knight Rider. We're actually going to be doing stages 103 to 106. This build to me seems to have gone like a blink. Crazy, isn't it? But in the next pack we're going to be piecing it together and it's going to be all done. And as you can see, I have got the bodywork up here ready to work on today because we are still working on the rear section of that, and I believe we're going to be doing some of the interior today as well. Now if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. I don't know if this is still available at the moment, so you will have to go and check your territory to see if it is. But as I said, I am going to leave them in there for prosperity's sake, that's where you can get it. But this is from Fanhome and I'm going to jump straight into it. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So this is stage 103 and here's the magazine here. Having just a quick flick through, and as you can see, we are going to be doing in this issue, you'll be attaching the seatbelt and one of the tailgate hydraulic rods to your KITT scale model. So a little couple of things to put in here. Not a lot to do in this stage. The belts are going to be fun, I think, to put in, but by the end of it, it's going to look just like that. And this is the rest of the magazine. So here's all the parts for stage 103. Got them here. Let's get these out. And the first thing I want to do is I want to put this tiny pin hook into the hole in this section here. And as you can see, we have got a hole. It is a D-shaped hole, so it can only go in one way. When that's in, it's like that. It fits really tight. You don't need to glue that. Now, I don't know if you remember this. This came in stage 102. We're actually going to be attaching this to this part here. So it's basically going to be going into this indent here, like this. And it's going to be held in from the other side with two BP screws. So I've got that here, one in the top. I'm going to use my PH1 screwdriver here. And then just one in this hole here. When that's in, it should look like that. Then I've got the seat belt here, which I want to feed through this little hole here. I'm no needlework expert and my eyesight's terrible, but I have managed to do that first time. Check that out. I can't even thread a pin, thread a needle, so there you go. That's in place like that. Now the end of this seat belt is going to be going into the hole there, held in with a KP screw. The way to do this is just get a little bit of slack on the belt. Put it over where it's going to go. And the screw should take care of everything else, because it is a self-tapping screw about keeping this into place. So as you can see, that's lined up there. As soon as I start turning it, it's going to break through that seatbelt, hold it into place, so that now can't come out there. All that's left to do is to take this hydraulic section here, and it's the fin side that I want that's going to be connecting to this section just there, held in again with a BP screw, just like this. Get that all the way in. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 104, here's the magazine. And I'm guessing we're going to be continuing doing what you've just seen there. So we have got, in this issue, you will find the rear wall and left wall of the trunk onto your KITT scale model, looking like this. So again, I've got some details to put in here. They want me to remove this sort of reinforcement bar, which came years ago when we actually got this whole bodywork. I did that years ago, so I won't be doing this. I've taken that reinforcement bar off already. And it looks like we are now going to be putting what we just created in here and tracing the wires through. So there is a lot to do in this stage. And then we are putting that rear wall in just like that there. And that is how it's going to look at the end of this stage. So the first thing we're going to create is the trunk latch. We need these two sections here. This is just going to go into the center of this piece here, like this. and it's held in from the other side with a BP screw. Actually still have one of them left over from the last stage. Not the easiest thing to do, but I'm going to start the screw off, rotate it into the position it needs to be, and then tighten it up. And if you look on the top camera here, you want to make sure that that's straight in there. Now this is going to go into the rear wall. It goes this way round so that the catch we just put in is visible from that side there. Once again, it's going to be held in with 2 BP screws just into these holes here. So that is securely in there now. It's now time for my part work upgrades map, because I need to bring the car up and turn it upside down. Just like that, so you can pretty much see everything in the car here. Now if I just tilt this over slightly to this side, on the top camera you can see these posts here and here. We're going to be trunking these wires behind these posts. So one in here like this, and the other one just like this. Now trust me, you want to make sure they go behind just like that. Again, hopefully you can see it on the top camera. If there's any danger of these being on top, you're going to drive a screw through them and break the wire, which you really don't want to do. Now again, probably on the top camera, we have got this little clip here, which is basically going to be going into the hole that we got there, held in with a GM screw, just to keep the wire here in place. So I'm going to get that lined up. A bit fiddly, this one.
A few moments later.
If I was to tell you that that section just there, to put that clip in just like that, took 15 minutes, you probably wouldn't believe me, but that was really fiddly. Okay, ensuring that these wires aren't anywhere near these holes, I'm now going to be putting this into place. This little edge here is going to go underneath this section just here, and by doing that it should line everything up for me. Yeah, I might just need to loosen that screw there just a second to help me get this in. Excellent. Once I've got that in there, I'll tighten this screw up so that's not going to go anywhere. And then using GM screws, I want to put one in here just like this. Hopefully you can see that on one of the cameras. That'll hold that side in. One just by the wire at the back here in the middle. And that's held that side in. And there's one right away. Hopefully you can see this. If I get the screw in there. Just down there. Now, you know you've done it right if you've got a nice flush area here and all of your holes have lined up for this section. As a matter of fact, it's really hard for you to see, so I have got my phone camera on here just so you can see how that looks, how the joins are there, and what it looks like from the top. Now I'm going to be putting what we just created before. I'm going to line up these 2 pins here with the holes here. There is a little tab on this side which just needs to go into the hole just here. I'm just going to line up so that then everything is in place like that. These are going to be held in with BP screws. So one there and just one there. You do want to make sure that that's nice and flush around this section here. And then from this side, we just want to put another BP screw. Just to hold this joint into place. It actually goes in from this side. So as you can see, that's nice and flush all the way around. You can see that on the top camera. And you do need to make sure that your wires here aren't pinched and you're able to get to them through this point just here, again showing you on the top camera. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 105, here's the magazine, and I'm guessing we're going to be working on the other side panel here just like this, again putting that hydraulic rod in. Got a couple of details to put in here, so by the end it's looking like that. And that's that magazine. A nice big pack here for stage 105. And again, we've got this inner trim looking like this. Once again, taking the hydraulic rod here, we're going to be putting the thinner end just towards this hole here, held in with a BP screw. There you go. That goes in like that. Now turning it over on this inside edge here, I do have a right trunk wall bridge, they're calling this, to put in, just going into the 2 holes there. I'm just going to see how this fits. Hopefully it's a tight fit. So there we go. That's in there, and that's going to make that edge like that. And in the holes next to it, I've got this metal piece here, which has got a locating lug at the bottom of it. That's going to go there. Once again, held in with a BP screw. Get that in nice and tight. And there you go. That is all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, this is stage 106 again. Here's the magazine. And we've got some details like the seat belt and that plate there to put on like we did last time. And we're actually going to be putting this onto the car. So we've done the complete interior section here. And then I'm going to attach these hydraulic rods up. So it's looking like that. So this is only a small pack, but there's a lot to do in it. So just like we did at the very start of this pack, we're going to be taking this panel here and I'm going to be putting this hook into the hole. And again, it has got a D-shaped pattern, so it can only go in one way. And it is a tight fit, but that's in like that. This then goes into this section here, following the indent that we've got. Turn it over. It's going to be held in with 2 BP screws. So one there and one at the bottom. Then I'm going to be playing a little bit of needlework to try and thread this belt through the hole here. Put it out the other side, and then I just want to leave a little bit over the top here for a KP screw to hold that into place. This can be a fiddly thing as well. That's why I'm holding my screwdriver as a pen, to get that pinpointed exactly where I want it. Screw that in. Not too tight, because you don't want it to be too bunched up here. You just want it good enough that it's going to hold that in place like that. Bring up my part work upgrades mat again. I'm going to turn this upside down. And I've really zoomed out the cameras now so you can exactly see what I'm doing. So this is going to be going in this side here. Again, it's going to fit underneath this section just here. Nice and flush. That's gone in absolutely perfectly, actually. And I'm using GM screws to keep this in place. So one just up here. In fact, let's just put a tiny bit of oil on that. One just down the middle. And then just one on this side here. And then finally, we're just going to be putting a screw just through this side here, which will keep that corner in place. Just like that. So now that's all the internal trunk in place. Turn this over, and on the back of this trunk section here, I've got 2 little catches here and here that this can go in for the hydraulic rod. Now once again, they're held in with BP screws, so I'll get one in. Not the easiest thing to get in, but that's one in there. So you can see how that opens and closes. Do the same on the other side. I am actually going to be putting some oil just on this bit here because mine is sticking just a touch. I don't think it's going to hurt. Bit of lube. You can see that's much better. Right. There you go. If I show you on that side camera there, down, up. And they're working absolutely perfectly. As a matter of fact, I'll show you on this camera over here as well. I like that. I like how it holds it in different positions as well, so it's not just flopping around there. That looks brilliant. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. I really enjoyed that. That was really fiddly, but I do like the mechanism of how this actually works here. Excellent. Just tidy the seatbelt up. if you want to get this for yourself, once again, I have put a link in the video description, but you will have to check your territory to see if this is still available at the moment. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.